Hello, my name is Rachel. I apologize for the robot voice. The reason I'm using a robot voice is because I have laryngitis. Laryngitis is when your throat is irritated, and you cannot talk without sounding raspy or hoarse. Laryngitis also causes you to cough a lot whether you are talking or not, because your throat isn't in good shape. Anyway, I wanted to make this video, because I went to see TXT in Charlotte this month, and I wanted to make a story time about my experience. My experience was so crazy, that Netflix should make a movie out of it, LOL. Part 1. The parking pass fiasco. Since I didn't know what places in Charlotte you're allowed to park in, I got a parking pass for a parking garage that was near the concert. It took forever for me to get to the parking place, because so many of the roads were blocked off. Part 2. Lost keys. Once I finally got to the parking garage, and found a spot to park, I lost my keys. I literally had my keys in my hand, and then they were gone. I heard them fall in the car, but I didn't see where they fell. Since my car is an older model, the seats don't go back very far, which makes it hard to get your keys, because of how small and tight the space is. After I got my keys, I had to walk a little more, to get to the venue. Only guess what? All the streets were blocked off, so I had nowhere to go. Part 3. Taxi trouble. I ended up getting a taxi, because Siri told me that it would take me at least half an hour for me to walk to the arena. When I called the taxi service, they couldn't figure out where I was. The person on the line kept saying, "I don't know that area," which surprised me since he lives there, and the area has multiple arenas that they use for a lot of events. Plus, I was right by a huge park that all the locals seem to know about. Once I mentioned the park, he was finally able to pick me up. When I got in the car, I almost yelled at the driver, because he started to take me to the wrong place. So I told him that I was going to the Spectrum Center for the TXT concert. Part 4. Opening sequence. Once I finally got to the arena, I checked in and went to find my seat. An usher tried to help me, but he told me the wrong place to go. 2 other ushers also tried to help me, but they both told me the wrong area too. So I took matters into my own hands, and found my seat. I waited at the end of my row, and watched TXT perform opening sequence. When the song was over, I kindly asked the people to move, so I could get to my seat. I was so excited but also really bummed, because it was around 8:20 at this point. So I had basically missed the first 90 minutes of the concert, because of all the traffic and roads being blocked off. Overall, I enjoyed the concert. The stages were so beautiful and colorful, and the boys did an amazing job harmonizing together, and interacting with the crowd. I noticed Subin seemed to be the favorite, for a lot of the most there. He got so much cheers and love. Yeonjun was also really popular. The girlies were going crazy for him. For real, people were going feral over him. One girl behind me screamed that she wanted Yeonjun to fuck her, which kinda grossed me out. Like, I get it, I think he's hot too, but I'm not gonna act like that, when there's literally, like an 8-year-old girl right here. I enjoyed being part of the crowd, and waving my light stick. I had an amazing seat too. I made eye contact with Yeonjun for a second. When he was looking around at the crowd, he was smiling when he looked at me. It was a moment I'll cherish forever. I also caught a piece of confetti, and I got some cute merch too. Part 5. Dude, where's my car? The next day, I went back to the parking garage to pick up my car. I couldn't find my car. I checked a few other parking garages nearby, thinking that maybe I went to the wrong one, and it was in another garage. So I called my mom and asked for some advice. She tried to find some more information about the parking garage online, but she couldn't find anything. So she told me to call the police, and tell them that I think the car is stolen. So I called the police. Part 6. You're toxic. When I called the police, the woman who I talked to kept asking me if I was intoxicated multiple times. I lost count of how many times she kept asking me if I was intoxicated. After the 6th time she asked me, I understand why she asked that question, because it was just part of the checklist she had to do. But I felt like she was trying to blame me for what happened. She also told me that it doesn't matter, that I don't live in North Carolina, and that I should know the area well. I thought that comment was uncalled for and judgmental. How can you expect random people, who don't live in your town, to know where everything is? Make it make sense, please. Once the police came, he looked around to see if he could find my car. The policeman who helped me was very kind and helpful. I appreciated him doing everything he could to help me. Unfortunately, he didn't find my car, so I had to file a police report. I called my mom and he talked to us about what the plan was for if they find the car, and if we end up finding the car to call him back. My mom and brother came to pick me up, and helped me look for the car. We looked around for my car, but we couldn't find it anywhere. We were all exhausted and went home. Part 7. Farewell Neverland. When we got home, Guess what I found? I found the receipt at the bottom of my bag, from the parking garage. So I finally figured out where my car was. The next day, my mom and brother drove back to check the parking garage to see if my car was there. They found my car and called the police officer to let him know that we found the car and that the car wasn't stolen. And they came back home. So that's my story. Pretty crazy, huh? Let me know in the comments if you've ever had something like this happen to you. P.S. I'm planning on posting some videos that I took from the concert on my channel soon. So make sure you have your notifications on so you don't miss it. I hope you have a great day and thank you for watching.